has forcefully dismissed U.S. claims that it halted mass executions as deadly protests and accusations of foreign interference pushed tensions between Tehran and Washington to a boiling point. On Sunday, an Iranian regional official said at least 5,000 people have been killed since nationwide protests erupted late last month, including around 500 members of the security forces. The official accused what he called terrorists and armed rioters of murdering innocent civilians, directly rejecting U.S. President Donald Trump's assertion that Iran had backed down from executing hundreds of detainees. Trump had claimed that Tehran canceled the executions of 800 people following U.S. pressure. Iranian authorities now say that claim is false.
You urged protesters in Iran earlier this week to keep fighting in the streets and said that help was on the way. Is help still on the way, or has your bar
for intervention? As you know, Iran canceled the hanging of over 800 people. They were going to hang over 800 people yesterday, and I greatly respect the fact that they canceled it.
Instead, the tone from Tehran has hardened. A day after Trump's remarks, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei publicly branded the U.S. president a criminal, accusing Washington of fueling unrest and bloodshed by backing the protests. Khamenei acknowledged that several thousand people had died, but blamed the violence on armed groups allegedly linked to the United States and Israel.
We consider the American president to be a criminal, both for the casualties, for the damages, and for the accusation he made against the Iranian nation.
God is the greatest. God is the greatest. God is the greatest. God is the greatest.
A distinct characteristic of this sedition was that the President of the United States, he himself personally, intervened in this turmoil, spoke out, made comments, and issued threats. He encouraged the instigators of unrest, sent a message from America to these individuals, and I will tell you later who they were. Keep moving forward, don't be afraid.
He said, "We will support you, we will provide military aid." I mean, the U.S. president himself. He entered the sedition. He's part of the seditions.
They inflicted injury on the people. How many thousands of innocent people have these individuals murdered?
Young people are also emotional. Teenagers are emotional. They are coming onto the playing field. They are doing things that they should not be doing. They're doing naughty things they shouldn't be doing. These are the infantry forces.
Iran's judiciary reinforced that message. Spokesman Asghar Jahangir confirmed that executions may still proceed, saying some acts committed during the unrest qualify as Mohareb, waging war against God, a charge punishable by death under Iranian law. Trump, meanwhile, escalated rhetorically. In an interview with Politico, he declared it was time to look for new leadership in Iran, deepening fears of external pressure turning into confrontation. Outside Iran, some reports claim around 20,000 deaths, with many under review. Iranian officials counter that the verified death toll will not rise sharply and insist foreign-backed armed groups inflamed the unrest.
The official statistics naturally should be announced by the relevant competent authorities. I personally do not possess that information. Well, this is a very important security, law enforcement, and judicial matter.
No country should ever allow its land to be turned into a place for misuse and exploitation to act against other countries.
This stands as merely one instance among the multitude of cases involving the dissemination of information and outright fabrications that were deliberately produced concerning the recent developments within Iran. These were then systematically fed to the international community, leading, in some instances, to various countries making judgments about Iran based precisely on this incorrect and misleading information.
The protests, sparked on December 28th by economic hardship, quickly evolved into calls for an end to clerical rule, marking the deadliest unrest since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. While a violent crackdown appears to have quelled demonstrations in many areas, eyewitness accounts tell a darker story. Residents describe riot police firing directly at crowds. Verified videos show security forces beating and shooting protesters. The bloodshed has been especially severe in Iran's Kurdish northwest, where separatist groups have a history of armed resistance. Sources say fighters attempted to cross into Iran from Iraq as chaos spread. Internet blackouts have obscured the full scale of events, cutting families off from loved ones and trapping witnesses in silence. As Iran and the U.S. trade accusations, one reality remains clear. The streets may have fallen quiet, but the crisis is far from over.
Naturally, I have my mother, and I've been with a sick woman for more than a week now. I don't know what her condition is. We all have relatives who are out there sick, and we worry deeply inside. We don't know if they've been arrested or if they are among the dead. You might not, you probably won't even believe this. Every single day I open up my phone and I read, searching everywhere, hoping to find them either among the dead or perhaps among the missing. But regrettably, the news is only trickling out slowly. Therefore, we genuinely have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, I still have family in Iran. My father still lives in Iran. I have family on his side, and I also have family on my mother's side in Iran. Aunts and uncles and cousins and, extended family. So the things that I hear from my family and friends are that, many people were participating. Almost everyone they knew was going out to these protests, going in the streets, actively participating in the protests, or at least like being out there and sort of watching and observing. And then I was able to get some information about like their safety after the crackdown and the shutdown of the internet. I know, for example, some of my second cousins and so on have been injured, not life-threatening as far as I know. You can say we were at the edge of our seats. I follow the news through multiple news outlets, the national newspapers here in the U.S., but also the BBC and other outlets. I also follow through social media. There are certain accounts that have been very trusted in communicating what is happening in terms of videos or news. My mom is also of course, very concerned. She's always been actually politically active in the previous regime, in the current regime to some extent, to the extent possible. She actually was imprisoned before the revolution. Of course, she also goes back because of family and other reasons, go back to Iran. She really loves being there. She would prefer to be there. So she's been, as I said, we've all been at the edge of our seats, and she's been following the news and talking to me, and with a sense of hope and despair as well. So yes, the President Trump has been very vocal, and that's a significant departure from what we've seen in the past in all of these 47 years of the regime in Iran. Mostly, I've seen politicians say, yes, we stand with the people of Iran, but it's sort of symbolic and a gesture. He seems to have a different view. I don't know what he's going to do or what it means when he says that the help is on the way. I just hope that it's a meaningful help.